Your favorite independent artists, and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
What is up? We are live. Welcome, everybody. We've got Zac let's hear it from the horse's mouth. How do you pronounce your last name, Zac?
Chastain.
Chastain. You gotta say it you gotta draw out that A.
Yeah.
Chastain.
It's not Chastain.
Let's not even speak it that way. Chastain, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. We got a Georgia boy in the house. He's this is your first time with us over here, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I've been watching you guys for, I guess, a couple years now. Like what y'all are doing, man. I really enjoy the people y'all get to interview and everything.
I know, right? I feel like I'm so blessed too. I just want to shout out to Texas to Tennessee. So I'm kind of guest hosting these guys. Let me kind of steamroll right over their ship. So thank you very much to Texas, Tennessee for letting me be here and have some of the homies on here like Zac. We're going to talk about all kinds of things he's got coming up. He's an independent artist based out of Georgia. I feel like we have somehow been missing each other all over the place. I've seen we've played a lot of the same places. We know a lot of the same folks. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
The time is finally here, Zac, where we are together.
Yeah. The roads have intersected.
They have finally, yes. Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to jump in. They always do, the Texas to Tennessee guys always do kind of an icebreaker question, and I think it's a good one. So I figure we'll start there if you're down for a panic question. It's a question about pie, don't worry. So the question
Okay.
is, as an artist, we kind of were just talking about this. As an artist, you kind of you have to wear all the hats, right? So you've got to be the songwriter
Mhm.
usually, the person that does marketing and the business end of the bowl, and then performance and live music. So in that pie, when it comes to the artistry slash just writing music in general, the business parts of the job, and then live music and being actually on stage with people. Where's your favorite spot to be? And or is it kind of somewhere between them all? And where's home for you in the pie?
Definitely just being the songwriter, playing songs guy. I hate doing the business part of it. I mean, and it's been a struggle, and I'm still struggling about doing the content and marketing and all that stuff, man. It's always been tough for me. I'd rather just play my songs and find somebody that can help do that. But you got to get to a certain point before you can do that,
Yeah, excellent point. Excellent
Yeah.
point. I feel like it's kind of good. I do a lot of tour managing, so it's kind of a little bit of job security for me when I hear folks say
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, it's also the homies. I watch the homies kind of struggle with some of this stuff. But yeah, the songs that I mean to me, of course, are the most important as a fellow songwriter. The songs are really the meat and potatoes of the whole thing, anyways.
Hmm.
And you've got some music out. You've got a few songs out on all the platforms.
Yeah.
When did you start releasing music? When was your first go in the studio, make the music, go through that whole process? When did that start for you?
Well, it's funny, because I've started in a band. I wanted to do the band thing really bad. I wanted to be in a country rock band. Cause I was just real big fans of all the guys like the Steelwoods and Whiskey Myers and Blackberry Smoke and all those guys. And so I was like, I want a band, and so I started a band, and we did it for 5 years, and we put an album out. It was called The Cosmic Strangers, and so it was not the greatest thing, but that was my intro into writing and everything. I'm like, let's write an album, but I appreciate it because that helped me cut my teeth in playing music and writing and studio work and everything. But the band, tied shift, and we ended up splitting up. So I figured that would be the best time for me to go solo. And so just last year was the first year I put out my very first single. And that's that Live in a Country song. And I've been kind of navigating and chasing a sound, and it's been hard to get it down in the studio for me so far. Like what I do live to me is still a lot better than what I'm getting in different studios and stuff, you know. So I'm still navigating the waters a little bit on that. I started that last song I recorded myself at home.
Nice.
And just sent it out to a buddy of mine in Nashville to master it, and just trying different things, you know.
Yeah, that's super relatable. I think we talk about it kind of. I feel like everybody I've chatted with here has kind of had that same thing where it's like there's just such a timeline to when a song gets written to like when it's actually out, and then how it changes and like grows, and usually kind of like gets fed, but also sometimes you have to make compromises on it, especially when it comes to the studio. And you know, it takes some capital too. So sometimes you got to do what you can do with what you got at the same time. But that's super relatable, and I think it's a thing that I feel like I don't always hear it talked about. Is just you know, sometimes you got to find your sound in the studio too, and like find your tribe and find your people that fit your budget too, and like that that are a good fit. It's just yeah, having a good fit is important, and it's just one of those things you learn as you go, which is so cool when you see like the evolution of artists. You see their first works, and then as they're just figuring stuff out. So I'm excited to hear that from you. Do you have any new stuff that you're working on as far as putting out, or are you kind of focused elsewhere for 2026?
No, I'm really focused on just building my song inventory. I mean, I got a lot of songs that are not released still, and that just trying to get like at least like an album's worth of songs together. And I'm probably close to that already, but I still want to have more to cherry pick for next year. And, you know, you talk about the money side, you know, who can afford, you know, like nowadays with the TikTok algorithm and stuff, they want you to release a single a month, you know, and you're talking thousands of dollars if you go pro studio to, you know, do a song. And you got to do that once a month now. Yeah.
That's why, like,
and so that's why a lot of people are, you know, recording at home and outsourcing stuff. So that's kind of been what I started doing with this last song that I released. But yeah, it's hard. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tricky for sure. And I almost fear that it does lend a hand to like the AI stuff of like, well, this was way cheaper, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a whole can of worms we don't have to get into right now. But you know, it does kind of it just is expensive. You just need some capital in it. So anytime anybody's talking about albums or has albums out, I'm always like, that's huge. Maybe on the surface level, at first on the other side of the fence, it just feels like everyone has an album. Like that's just the thing. But when you're in it, you're like, do you know how much an album is? Like, do you know how much that is?
Especially to do it right with you talking about marketing and all the stuff for an album, you know?
Oh yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Well, fellow independent artists, especially, we're feeling you. We're with you over here. We're over here to commiserate. Well, cool. So maybe a album will be maybe the next project. We'll have to stay tuned and find.
Yeah, I'd like to do some more singles, but I definitely am on track for an album maybe next year. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, that'd be great. Do you have any spots or any shows coming up this year that you're super stoked for? Anything live that you're looking forward to?
Yeah.
Are you still kind of building your calendar?
No, well, I'm always building my calendar, but yeah there's several. I'm going to the Checkered Flag Tavern in Indianapolis next month.
I saw
April
that.
24th.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I got a show at Robot Monkey Listening Room in Missouri. Um, let's see.
I love
And I
Missouri.
probably, I just got back from doing one at Bird's Nest. I'm actually wearing their hat
I
today,
know
but
you're repping top to bottom over here.
oh yeah, had to get my Georgia boy Brent Cobb too.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I'm always building my calendar, and the Bird's Nest guys, they've been super great to me too. And so they'll usually call me up maybe like a month ahead of time. Hey, you want to come out here?
Hmm.
Whatever date they get open, But yeah, I always build my calendar. I got some stuff. I'm really all over the place. Like right now at this stage, it's just like who's got an open date,
Yeah.
and to just try to spread my name as much as possible. I
Mhm.
mean, I just opened for Channing Wilson in Huntsville, Alabama,
Heck yeah.
2 weeks ago, I think. And then I'm going to like South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, then Indianapolis next month. So yeah, I'm just all over the place, really.
That is kind of the way though. I feel like people should know.
Yeah, you make more
Otherwise,
money going on the road than you do at home. I mean,
yeah,
it's
it
messed up, but
depends on how you do it, I guess. But
yeah.
there's a strategy to it all, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
strategies to everything. It's just like that studio conversation. There's like, all right, the first time you go in there, you kind of have an idea what you're doing. You plan it out, you do as much preparation as you can, and then you get in there and you're like, okay, that I can do that. I'm gonna do things different next time. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like that's how being on the road is. That's how just writing in general.
It's
So much
just
of
learning
art
as
is,
you go.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure. And
yeah.
so speaking though on venues, I feel like it's close to my heart just I think as an artist, but also as a tour manager and seeing how just kind of backstage on a lot of these venues and how hard everybody works behind the scenes that you don't always see on a show day. There's just too much going on and your head's got to be
Hmm.
in your game. You're not necessarily noticing all these other things, but I always like shouting out, especially the smaller venues that are run with just straight up passion. Like we mentioned Bird's Nest. I think that's exactly a perfect
Oh yeah.
example of a venue that matters on such a big level and that really are passionate and kind of really handpick what they're doing and they stay really loyal to what they're building. Are there
Hmm.
other venues that you that might come to mind when I talk about that type of stuff that maybe are in your neck of the woods, out towards Georgia or the southeast, or any that you've been to that feel like are really passionate? I always want to give a moment for the venues that keep us keeping
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Well, there was a great one in Tennessee, in Dunlap, Tennessee, called the Dunlap Yard that was bringing in independent artists. Um, I think they booked Ward Davis there, and they had a lot of
Nice.
guys like West Ship.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, like a lot of them, man, they end up having to close the doors. Um, but that was
Yeah.
a great venue. I mean, that was a big loss in this area. Um, and it's not so much like a live music venue, but there's a place down the road from me called the Red Wolf Grill, and they have been awesome to me. I mean, as far as just being a local spot that always kind of, it's a restaurant, but they focus on music too. They have a stage outside, and I mean,
Hmm.
everybody there just loves music, and so it's not like a Bird's Nest listening room
Yeah,
type
yeah.
venue, but they're big supporters, and so I have to shout them out. They're in Cahota, Georgia.
Oh, nice. Cohoda.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I feel like I don't even want to say little, but just yeah, those kind of really passionate gems are the unsung heroes of live
Oh,
music everywhere. It's where every artist cuts their teeth and like gets a little gas in the tank
hmm.
in more than one way for sure. Do you feel like do you have any stories either with your band or as you've been kind of branching out into your solo stuff of just a live performance? You mentioned that that's kind of home to you, this the songwriting and then the performing, of like a time where you were like, oh heck yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this? Because
Oh yeah.
I feel like there's just some of those stories that stand out. Do you have
hmm
any that
Oh
jump
yeah.
out?
Well, the first time you see somebody singing your song back to you, that's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Um, that would be probably a top one. And it's actually, I've been lucky enough to have it happen a couple times. Probably more than a couple, but it's been limited. But those are always like just, I don't know. It just finally makes you feel, it's like Alan Jackson said, chasing the neon rainbow. He said, makes the thing I'm doing seem right, you
Yep.
know. Just makes you feel like you're doing the right thing, because
hmm
that's another thing is there's been so many nights where you're just like, what the hell am I doing? you know,
Yep.
you quit, 14 times a day, seems
That
like.
is very relatable. Very. I
Yeah.
feel like every time I take myself down, I'm like, you know what? Starbucks, today is the day. We're gonna get we're gonna get some health insurance and we're gonna go down there. And then like that next job will come in and I'm like, what was I thinking? This is why would
Yeah.
I ever work at Starbucks? Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's getting driven to the end of your rope just to realize, oh, the rope's a little longer. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Oh, yeah.
Just over
That's,
and
that's
over.
pretty good right there.
Yeah, that's that's what it is. Listen, if you haven't almost like rage applied to things a time or two in your life, just like that's it.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. Everyone was right. And then you have that moment and you're like, oh, what was that? No,
Yeah.
totally, I forgot.
And it's like, okay, I'm back. I'm back. Till the next one.
Yo, and then you play that show that you're like barely had gas to get to, and someone's singing your song, and you're like, all right, let's go. I got it in me.
Yeah.
I got that dog in me again.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. Do you roll with a band or do you do a lot of solo shows with your solo songs or kind of both? What's your
Right
main thing?
now it's just acoustic shows. I'm putting a band together right now, hoping to do like a lot more band shows than solo shows next year. But we'll kind of see how that rolls out.
Yeah, I like doing acoustic shows. I always kind of begrudgingly did them because kind of similar. I had a band first, so then doing
Mhm.
a solo thing was not, it felt like a compromise at first. But I
Yeah.
really love just how like intimate that you can really feel when it's just yourself, especially in an opener slot when you can really just like
Oh yeah.
the pressure's not quite as on, you're just
hmm
you got the early crowd, you can get in there and really just connect on a
Yeah.
different level, I think too.
Yeah.
Well, that
It's pretty good. It gets old sometimes. That's why I'm wanting a band,
yeah.
but it's got its moments for sure.
Yeah, especially if you've had that energy, the band just brings a completely different thing to
Yeah.
only.
And it's nice when you got a band and then you break it down to acoustic for a
Mhm.
couple songs, and then you just fill the room. You
Yep,
know.
like MTV Unplugged, remember that? Me, a
Yeah.
millennial.
Yeah. I watch those.
Remember? Oh yeah. That was the best. Yo, Them Dirty Roses did like a kind of a version of that, and that's still one of my favorite versions of like a lot of the stuff they have put out. They
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah, they just did like an MTV Unplugged. They had like an acoustic bass and everything, and just sat on some bar stools, and I was like, why aren't we doing that?
Yeah. That's
Good
cool.
good point, Them
I
Dirty
don't.
Roses. Good point. Let me write this down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I missed that, I guess.
Yo, I know. We should do that. We should do that. We should all do that more
hmm
and just do some take over, bring live music back on
Yeah.
a on that smaller scale. Because they put those. Sometimes they were doing that like right at Times Square and stuff too. Like the MTV Unplugged, they were doing them from all
Oh
over
yeah.
the place.
Yeah.
Why
What
can't
else
we
was
do
really
that?
cool is do you remember Crossroads, where they would bring like a country artist and like a rock artist, and they would put them on the stage and do their each
What?
other's songs. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why aren't we doing
Yeah.
that? Oh man, I gotta go
Um,
pick some
I
bones.
think that was either like MTV or CMT. Maybe CMT Crossroads because the C's go together. Seems like. I don't know.
Yo, we should put the country versus metal boys up to that podcast. They're our
Yeah.
homies.
Yeah.
We should do like a Texas to Tennessee country versus metal showdown. Unplugged.
Unplugged. Yeah.
We're accepting sponsors for that right now, everybody. If you wanna, we'll open the call center in a little bit for all the sponsors that'll come in for that.
Yeah.
Yo, I'd buy those tickets. Well, what do you think? Let's see. We can go off the rails or we can stay kind of behaving this. What day is it? Monday?
Yeah.
What
I guess.
Are you like, I've heard the music that you have out and you mentioned you've got a whole bunch kind of that isn't out anyways. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
recorded it or not. How do you feel like your sound has changed or if it has at all since those first solo singles that you were able to put out? Like, is it still kind of you at the roots? You just might make some different studio choices, or do you feel like you've kind of evolved yourself since those first couple songs?
It's probably a little everything. I think we all strive to get better. Better songwriter, better musician, coming up with better melodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like to think that it's not changed; it's just polished more.
Ooh. Well said.
Yeah. So it's just you start out with this rough piece of rock, and you start polishing it up to a ball, Getting philosophical.
Yeah. I feel like someone is kicking my rock right now. That's how it works. How do you feel like you are live? I feel like I've changed so much live as a performer and as a person. You just get so much more comfortable. Do you think
Yeah.
do you think you can be more vulnerable these days, or do you still kind of get that that like stage fright vibe sometimes?
Oh, I mean, I've definitely gotten way better. But it's still sometimes you have those moments where you're like right on the edge of being vulnerable. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It almost feels like you're falling off the edge or something. Yeah, I mean, I think if you don't get nervous, then like, I don't know, it's not for you or something. I mean, I'm sure there's guys that's just been doing it forever, maybe don't get nervous, but I mean, I still heard there was guys like Alan Jackson that still got nervous before shows and stuff, I mean, especially if you're playing in front of thousands of people. But yeah, there's certain shows like, I guess when you feel like the pressure's on, like the Shannon Wilson opening for him, then you're like, oh, hoping you don't screw up or something like that.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had some moments where, you start getting vulnerable, and it's weird learning how to be vulnerable to strangers. It's a weird thing.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
I feel like I hear that sometimes. People are like, "You're so natural in front of the camera." I'm like, you should see the videos from 2 years ago. They're absolutely horrific, and like,
Yeah.
it's a conscious effort to like not be awkward.
Yeah.
It's hard work out here. We're artists.
Well, I did my first podcast. I went and listened back to it, and I was like, "Oh God, what would you think?"
I look back to like old like promos of me trying to promote my music, and I'm watching these reels, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, Stephanie, we were really representing not so good there in the beginning, but it's a good way to humble yourself, but also see how far you've grown is just to scroll back about 5 years.
Yeah.
Put yourself right in your place.
Yeah.
Like, girl, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like when it comes to that social media, not to like jump back to it, but honestly, it kind of is our best way of marketing these days.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you could, send your videos to the TV stations and they would play them on commercials, or you could do all the old school marketing. And how do you, now we can just kind of market with a phone that's in our pockets. But is there anything that they could change that would make it less awful? Or do you think it just is what it is and we just got to learn it? Like if there was
Mm,
something about social media that made it less like, ugh.
yeah.
I'm trying to put my
I think
finger on
it's,
myself.
yeah, I don't know what you could change. I guess the only thing you could change is if like there was some kind of restrictions, but then like it's not like free, what do you call it? Like a free platform for
Uh,
whatever. Um, but everybody talks about how great it is to have it now because it's so easily accessible for everybody. But
mhm.
then that's also the downside because it's so easily accessible for everybody. You got, you know, what do they say? It's like 100,000 uploads a day to Spotify,
Oh, I believe it. I
which
don't even
is
know.
like,
I feel like I should know though.
yeah. And that's like,
Yeah.
how are you supposed to compete with that? You
Hmm.
know? And the thing is like 98% of that is just like shit, you know,
Yeah.
and you got to just poke up above the shit enough like a daisy and get noticed, you know.
Yeah.
I
We're
mean,
just
no
trying.
offense to anybody. I've put out some shit too, you know. Um, but
We're just trying to not be the shit anymore. If we can just
yeah,
be the daisies.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, you always hear that's just one thing that's always kind of bugged me is because you hear everybody talk about how great it is because it's made it accessible for everybody. But then that's the problem is it's accessible for everybody. There's some people that have no business putting music
Yeah.
out or something, you know. Or maybe if they did it the old fashioned way, they would have that time to perfect their crafts before
Mhm.
they put music out, you know.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
I've jumped the gun myself on putting stuff out and I should have waited, you know, so
Yeah.
it's not like I'm putting anybody down or anything.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting conversation, of like how do we not hate this as our is there anything we can do to make us not hate this? I've never talked to anybody who's great at social media or not that has ever said, I love doing social media. I've never heard
Yeah.
anybody say that ever. No artist. I've heard social media like managers say that, like, oh, I love social media, but they're not artists. They don't
Mhm.
get it. They're staring at someone else's stupid face, not your own stupid face.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
game
It's like a
changer.
necessary evil, I guess, you know.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a necessary. Yeah, it's kind of got to be you that tells everybody about your music. But I think the good news is because of that, it's really a double-edged sword, but it is on one side of that sword empowering to independent artists because
Hmm.
you don't have to go through a record label anymore to have a shot
Yeah.
at someone, having your music go get to some ears that want to hear it. They were the only ones with the money back in the day. You could not record
Yeah.
without them, really, unless
And I
you
mean,
want.
they're still doing the same thing on social media. You know, like they're still big record labels pushing people just like they did before. They're going to figure a way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your take on people that's never played a live show before blowing up on TikTok and getting record deals?
I think that's another double-edged sword. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, people don't get signed if they suck. You
Yeah.
don't. So there's so many things that go into like creating the art that I feel like are so valuable and you kind of miss if you're going to stick to only TikTok. But I can also say, as someone who has recently been very humbled by social media, I kind of feel the same way about like if you exclusively tour, you're kind of like holding out. You're almost like putting a barrier where only people that go to live shows in places that you happen to play really have a great chance to really see who you are
Hmm.
if you don't capitalize on social media too. So I think it's one of those things where I think if you're only on TikTok, you're missing a huge part of what the connection is. But honestly,
Mm,
I very recently changed my viewpoints on that, where I think also, as much as it pains me to say it, as a true touring road dog diehard, I think if you only tour and kind of barely just post enough to get away with it, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice and kind of not giving a lot of people an opportunity to see you.
yeah.
So, and there's some skills from online that you just learn from doing stuff like this, like we're doing online right now, staring at our own faces. We're getting better right now. We're getting better at PR,
Yeah.
we're getting more professional, we're getting more polished. So, it's like I don't know. I feel like I don't hate it. I want to. I want to hate
Yeah.
it. I want I want to hate
Yeah.
it, but I
Oh, I
kind of
know. It's kind of
respect
like
it.
it's kind of a loaded question, but yeah, I was just wondering. It seems to be a hot topic I see a lot of people talk about,
Oh yeah, that was me like a
Those
couple
guys.
years ago. I'd be like, "What do these people know that just never played any shows? They don't know about this real life out here."
Yeah.
As we're just bleeding out
It's,
on
I
stage.
guess it's like you bypass paying the dues.
But
I
they're
guess
still
that's
gonna have
probably
to
what,
pay them
that's
though.
probably what, oh yeah. Yeah.
They're still gonna have to do their PR training and get some stage time. And honestly, a lot of times, I think it's actually pretty rare, and I could totally be corrected on this, but I think it's pretty rare, though it does happen, if you see an artist that's only a TikTok artist, like they've never played before. I feel like a lot of times by the time you see them on TikTok, they've been out doing a lot of touring and playing by the time they figure
Mhm.
out social media. And that's like the thing
Yeah.
it's like the last thing that they're learning how to get a grip on. So it looks real quick, like, oh, they came out of nowhere because they weren't
Yeah.
posting before. But yeah, I think it's like really not that many that are truly just zero stage experience, just plucked
Yeah.
from only TikTok. Um, but I think that about touring too. Like it's pretty rare that someone just nobody's ever heard of you and you just the right person at the right time. Does it happen? For sure. But usually you're working at it for quite a long time and marketing the heck out of yourself before someone really
Yeah.
sees you.
Yeah.
But also, what do I know? It just all seems like a crapshoot out here. So
Yeah.
if you figure it
Just
out, you
trying to
let me
see what sticks.
know.
Yeah.
I'm
Throwing
out
stuff
here.
at the wall, see what sticks.
I'm doggy paddling for my life out here. So what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is is there anything that you feel like? Do you feel like what's your favorite thing to watch? If you're gonna, maybe this is the question. Like your favorite artists, like Brent Cobb and all your like Blackberry Smoke. What do you wish they would do more of on social media? Maybe that's what we need to be doing, like our MTV unplugs.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that would be my
I
vote.
don't know.
Artists
Yeah.
everywhere,
That's the
more
thing is
more
if
live
I knew what they
acoustic,
needed, if I knew what they needed to post more of, I'd probably be doing it
right?
myself.
People
Yeah.
tell us. What do you need to hear from? What do you want from us?
I seen I can't remember who it was. Somebody was like uh on TikTok saying, uh, tell me, do y'all really just love lip sync videos? Is that all y'all want from us?
We don't know how to do anything else. It's really hard to make a reel, okay?
Yeah. And he's like, is that really all y'all want? That's the only thing that does good. Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. Have you ever tried to make a reel? Ugh,
Oh yeah.
gee. Those are advanced skills, as it turns out.
Yeah. I
You
know
can
it.
make
It
music
was
with
rough
your
learning
hands.
how to do my first lip sync video to my
Yo,
own
even
song.
that's hard.
I
Even
know.
that's hard. And then you feel so stupid too. At this,
Yeah.
it's a real 1-2 punch.
I know. You just stand there going,
You're like, how does everybody else make these look so good?
yeah.
Like, how do they get in the captions? I get hung up on everything.
Oh yeah. They mess your words up.
Yeah. Do you think that's what it comes down to though? Do you think it's just do you think that maybe it's always been this way? Do you think it's more there's no denying that like you need talent and you need work ethic to be an entrepreneur of any kind in any industry, but I think especially in music because it's such a creative space that the lines are so blurred. You really don't know if you're doing a good job or not half the time.
Mhm.
Do you think the work ethic can trump the talent or vice versa when it comes to actual success in the industry?
Mm,
Do you think someone could just
uh,
straight up outwork more talented people or vice
yeah,
versa?
for sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, I can't remember who said this either, but like there's a lot of talented people just playing local bars every night.
Mhm.
But it's the guys that put the work in, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, so I for sure think work ethic would beat out talent because there's plenty of guys that are not the best singer or best
Mhm.
whatever that still make it because they put the work in. You know,
Mhm.
I needed to get better at that myself. You know,
Yo, it's so
we all
hard.
could use a little more work ethic. Yeah, it's hard.
I know. People are like, oh, if you could only see the other side.
Yeah.
But I think
Have
that
you?
takes growth.
Are you a book reader?
I do like books, yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you ever read The War of Art?
No.
It talks about Stephen Pressfield wrote it, and it talks about resistance, and it's you know talking about work ethic. You know, it's so hard to just sit down and like work on writing for 30 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
your resistance in your mind just wants you to it'll come up with 100 things you should be doing instead of just focusing on this one task. Um, he talks about Hitler wanted to be an artist, a painter, you know, but he was he never like could paint good or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it said resistance was so hard he'd rather start World War II than just sit down at a blank canvas.
Interesting.
Which, yeah,
See, we just
which
need more art.
maybe not entirely true, but anyway, it's a super good book. You should read it.
Yeah, The
You know,
War of Art, you said?
yeah,
Heck yeah, I'll have to check it out. I love books like that. It's my favorite.
and it's
I
not
want.
long either. It's only like that. It's like 100 something pages.
Oh shoot, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't
Uh,
like long books.
Oh man, I keep reading all the like boss lady books. I'm like really channeling
Um,
my inner boss baddie
yeah.
these days, and just and then sitting with myself. it's
Yeah.
it's a little painful, you know.
Hmm.
But I feel like it's kind of really cool to see, though I'm curious to see how it plays out where like a lot of independent artists are the arena sellers. It kind of was Zach Bryan, who you can argue was eventually signed to a Sony affiliate. So they were saying how much of it was really independent for him. But I think his story is still pretty
Well,
rootsy. But
I
Tyler
think Tyler
Childers, you can't
Childers
argue
probably,
him.
yeah,
Yeah, Tyler Childers is like a no contestant. Also, like
yeah.
Sturgill, who's Johnny Blue Skies now, and like there's just Cody Jinks was independent for the longest time.
Hmm.
Is he still? I know he
I
has his
think
own
he
record
owns his
label
own
now,
record label. Yeah.
but I think he's signed. He was signed to True Grit. I don't know who he's with or if anybody now. We should. Now
Well,
I'm
what I
curious.
heard is I think True Grit was his label, but now True Grit's been bought out by like some big Sony or somebody. But it's still
Oh,
like True Grit, but it's affiliated with Sony or somebody. I don't know.
that would be on par for the music industry, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
On the cool label,
Yeah.
and then add it to the monopoly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got what is it? Late August, late July, late August records.
Late August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got what? Erin Vinecourt. I feel bad. I don't really know how to say her last name. Don't tell her.
I've always just guessed.
And Josh Morningstar
Yeah.
on that label right now. If you want to sign some other people, Cody, we're out here. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're come peruse the Texas to Tennessee veterans.
Yeah. He puts on a great show, man. I got to go see him in Nashville, and he had these giant saloon doors, and like Cody Jinks lit up like an old
Let's
saloon with
go.
neon. And when the first song kicks off, he busts through the saloon doors. You know, it's pretty cool.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it. Well, do you have do you feel I feel like he's put out so much music. If you go to his like out he's got so much dang music out. It's such a good example of like evolution. Just
Yeah.
went from like super rock heavy, he got a little bluesy there for a while. Then he got super country. Now he's somewhere in between. Like, what up?
He put 3 albums out in 1 year.
Yeah. Yo, we were just talking about that. One album is an insane amount.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's just work, money, capital, like mentals. I don't know how anybody does it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I kind of love it though.
Couldn't imagine. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. He couldn't imagine what?
Oh, I was just saying I couldn't imagine at that level what it costs to do an album. Like you talking about going into like a real professional studio and probably spending a month or more, you know, in those studios. Like back in the day, I love, you know, when those guys used to just like go hang out at a studio for 2 or 3 months and do an album, you know, like that's just living in there basically, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there is other things. I bet you I should do a little research. I wonder if there is like a collective where we can kind of keep independent. Like if you could just fund a band, that would be the way. These independent artists, because it is our genre kind of is popping off, and it feels weird because it feels like at that point everyone's like, well, you don't like it now because now it's mainstream, but it's still the music we
Yeah.
love. These are still the artists we love. And a lot of them are staying independent for the first time in history where they're charting. Not in
Yeah.
history, but like consistently. This whole entire genre is very heavy and independent, still having a lot of independent artists on it that are
Yeah.
breaking out and having hit songs.
Are you familiar with the Reeves brothers?
Yeah.
They're on TikTok, big on there and stuff. I got to see them in Nashville
Yeah.
a week ago or something like that. But they were saying they went in for a record deal, and the record label just flat out told them, like, you know, we can sign you, but we can't really do anything for you that you're not doing for yourself already. And like, how crazy is that? You know? And they're
It's
like, well, we'll just keep doing what we're doing and keep all the money.
right. It's like the biggest catch-22 of our time, I think, is just how many.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other genres have contributed, but I will say I do very much notice a strong trend, and specifically the like Americana, whatever we're calling that arena, has both broken out and maintained a ton of independence
Yeah.
as a mainstream genre. You know, it's pretty interesting. I think it's good in the long run, but it is very frustrating in our seats that
Yeah.
in order to get to the point where you almost have to grow past the point of where you already needed so much help, but now you figured it out, so you might as well just keep going now.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
It's like by the point you're at where you could get a record deal, you don't need one.
Right.
It's just weird. It's the first time in history that's ever happened, you know?
Yeah, we are very empowered. It still sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard out here. We don't want to do it all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
since we gotta, a lot of us are stepping up. There's just things we're suffering for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there's any like judgment for record deals these days, or do you think I personally feel a little independent pride, but also I do have a ton of respect for a lot of the record companies that are doing things right or seem to be these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can judge anybody for getting a record deal or anything, you know. I mean, I've never been for like mainstream country, not since like 1995. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hurt or wouldn't hate on nobody for getting a record deal or anything. And that's more power to them, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who do you feel like if you could build yourself a perfect lineup for a whole fall tour for yourself, Would you be the headliner and have some openers, or who would you be opening for if you could pick your squad out of just
Mm,
whatever you want? Like 3 bands. You can put yourself in that lineup wherever you want.
mm.
Mm.
Could do a Georgia Boy tour. I'd probably
What if,
have to be the opener though.
what if I up the ante and said like any band past or present? Like they don't even have to, it doesn't have to be
Oh
real.
man,
I'm so curious.
yeah. Well, I'll just keep thinking about like Georgia guys. It'd be cool like have Channing Wilson
Oh yeah.
and even Brent Cobb. He puts on a great show. Um, mm,
That's a great lineup right there.
yeah,
Brian Cobb, Channing
I think
Wilson,
they're like
and you, Zach. That's solid. That's solid right
a
there.
yeah. Maybe we get all of us to open for Travis Tritt or something like that. It'd be
Oh,
cool.
there you go. Yo,
He's
I
from
love
Macon
Travis
or
Tritt.
somewhere around Macon.
I love Travis Tritt.
Yeah,
Though
he
you know
still
what
lives somewhere in Atlanta.
a little broke my heart though about Travis Tritt? My favorite song ever, my favorite ever song. I love playing it. I love singing it. I love every time I hear it. Great Day to Be Alive. Love that song.
Hmm.
But it's a Daryl Scott song. The songwriter Travis Tritt didn't write it, and that is like such a
He
beautiful
did?
thing. No, it's such a beautiful
Oh,
thing.
I didn't know that.
Also,
It lets you down a little bit.
oh, it does rip a little of the nostalgia out of it for me.
Yeah,
But the Daryl
man,
Scott,
who didn't just scream that song at the top of their lungs as a kid? Just
right?
yeah.
It's the best one. What do you think? What are some other bangers from like what your youth that you feel
Yeah.
like were
That other one, man, I would just scream at the top of my lungs was I'm gonna be somebody.
I'm gonna
That Travis
be
Tritt.
somebody.
Yeah.
Get your hard-earned dollar,
Uh,
I will.
yeah.
That's a good line right there.
But yeah,
That's good songwriting.
do what?
So that's good songwriting right there.
I know. And he was a great songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's hard for me to just narrow it down. I always loved like Alan Jackson. Growing up, he was always on the radio my whole childhood.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you a 90s baby?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it was
I
like,
remember my mom getting ready for church and CMT playing and all the old, actual music videos playing on CMT in the
those were the
mornings.
good old days.
Oh yeah, that was the shit.
Remember on TRL and you could you had to go on your dial-up online to vote for whoever you wanted on the top TRL.
Oh,
Cast your
I
votes.
never voted or anything like that.
Yeah, I was like
I do remember the dial-up internet though.
Yeah.
Having to unplug the phone line, plug the internet back up.
Kids these days, they'll never know the struggle. Did you
Yeah.
teach yourself guitar, or did you come up with musicians around you, or how did you learn to play?
Well, my grandpa, he played a little bit, just kind of for fun. Um, and so he showed me my first couple chords, and then wasn't my uncle, his son, also played just a little bit, at home, and he kind of showed me some other stuff, and then I took guitar lessons for probably a year or two, and then after that, it was just kind of self-taught. I got into anything and everything. I played Freebird at my 8th grade talent show.
Oh, heck yeah. That's pretty
And,
baller.
and
Pretty baller.
got into Southern rock and Metallica, everything from Metallica to
Yeah.
Conway Twitty and Hank Williams and everything. Like
Yeah.
that song, "Living a Country Song." I talk about it, all the stuff in there because I was force fed Hank Williams and Patsy Cline and George Jones and Conway Twitty and just everybody, and to the point I just hated it. I'd get in the truck and just be like, but then as you get a little older, all that stuff, you mellow out a little bit, all that stuff just really connects with you.
Yep. Or they like hit different than they did when you were a
Yeah.
kid, you know? Like that
Yeah.
Great Day to Be Alive. You're just like, it's a banger, and then you're an adult and you're like, oh wow, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Like,
Yeah. You hear the words different,
whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that like find out who your friends are. Who's that? Tracy Lawrence?
Yeah.
Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna drop everything. Like, oof.
Yeah.
Man, I've been there. Like such a banger.
Yeah.
The
It's
night
weird.
for
That's really a great song when you can like listen to it as a kid and remember it a different way, and then when you get older you hear it and then you actually listen to the words and they like hit totally different way as you're older.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And all the documentaries and stuff that are available that like they can explain parts or details where you listen back to it and you're like, oh my gosh, that was all in the middle of this situation. Like, wow.
yeah.
Fleetwood Mac,
Yeah.
looking at you. Lindsey Buckingham. Or you're like, wow, they put that album out in the middle of all this. Like, and then you listen back and you're like, oh my God, this is profound.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know the situation with them, but
Oh man,
yeah, there's
go down a rabbit hole one day on that. The
oh yeah.
story of Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks and oof.
Hmm.
They
I'll have to check it out.
yeah, they're up against the wall with their record label. They had all this time to build a record, but uh, Lindsay and Stevie Nicks were a couple, and then they split up, and it was like ugly. And then it was a whole thing, and they were dating other people while in the band. They just like locked themselves in the studio because they had this obligation to get this album done and created
Wow.
these beautiful album. Anyways, there's so many stories
Yeah.
like that. I hope that we keep seeing stories like that with albums done like that in the day of like you said, the like one single per month
Yeah.
state of whatever we're doing right now. I hope that, the rock and roll of it all doesn't get too lost in the
I know.
produce
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. It's like you got to do that just to get your name out there, to
Mm,
get like discovered by like some amount of people and finally have like some kind of song hit a little
mhm.
bit on TikTok. But then it's like you got to turn all that back and go into the artist mode. Like, here's an album. It's
I know.
it's weird. I never knew about the Zach Top story. Do you
Ooh,
know how
no,
he
what
came
happened to
about?
that? No, I need to know.
Um, well, I don't want to say he was like built, but like he had that producer guy, that
Mhm.
Carson Chamberlain, which worked with a bunch of '90s country guys. Like very good resume. And he told him like, don't do this, and basically, um, so they met, and then he told him he would get him in with some writers and start writing songs. And it's like he wrote like songs for. He said he wrote 300 songs before he put his first album together
Oh wow.
because he had never wrote songs before. Really, I think he said he had a couple that he had wrote, but so he's just that guy knew enough to be like, here, go to the trenches, get your
Mhm.
sound figured out, get get all those bad songs out of the way,
Yeah.
and uh, you know it was just really awesome to see how somebody with the know-how could take somebody and just run them through and he wouldn't let them play any shows. He's like, you need to have some kind of mystique about you.
Mhm.
Need to wonder People need to wonder why they can't just go down there and see you any night of the week playing a writers round or whatever. So he wouldn't let him play in Nashville. He could only go out on the road, play some shows, um, and then basically just made him sit and wait until they put that first album out. And then meanwhile, during all that, he's just doing those TikTok videos.
Yeah.
All those like, hey, I wrote this song today, check it out. And it's one of those on that first album.
Yo, that's brilliant. It's all like strategy.
I
Everything
know.
comes down to strategy. It really does.
Yeah.
Marketing. I mean, not only because I think there's also kind of a art in the guys like, do you know Arlo McKinney?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I like him.
Arlo, bless him. He's a little rough around the edges, and that's exactly why he's so absolutely captivating. I don't think I don't think anybody could rail him in. And if you did, it might take away from kind of what he's got going on. It's so raw and genuine that it's
Yeah.
perfect, exactly how he does it. It's actually a pain in the butt for probably everybody that works with him, but
That's
it's
how all the greats were, man. They
that's why
were,
I want tickets though. That's why I
yeah,
whatever, I'm captivated. He's captivating. But, hopefully we can still see a mix of those type of artists where it's just completely different strategies, just completely different,
yeah.
totally different
That's
vibe.
how that's how all the greats were. You think, they could round George Jones up and Merle Haggard and all those guys. They were wild as hell. They
Yeah,
did whatever they wanted to do when they wanted to do it.
yeah. And Motley Crue, like the days of like now there's
Oh
cameras in all
yeah,
these dang hotel
yeah,
rooms. All
yeah,
the 90s and 80s hair bands too. All the grunge was like also a little notorious in the day,
yeah.
being
Do you
just
ever watch
sloppy.
Tales from the Tour Bus?
No, is it a current
You
thing?
never watched that?
I feel like I need to. What? No,
Oh my God, it's
how do I
Mike
miss this?
Judge. Mike Judge, the guy that did Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, put together an animated
Oh,
series
wait. No, I have seen this.
of
Okay. I
okay
lied.
of like George Jones and Waylon and all those
Yes.
people, and it's just like different stories and kind of like a mini documentary, but it's animated. It's pretty
Mm,
awesome.
that'd be, we should just keep that going for now. That's probably my favorite thing to do is to watch all those old interviews, though. Because you
Yeah,
realize how unhinged and like unpolished some of those artists were back in the day. They ask them
yeah,
questionnaires. And honestly, not for nothing, definitely not trying to go down anywhere near this wormhole, but like even when it came to politics, just their answers were so eloquent and kind of not what you hear from a lot of artists these days when they answer the same
yeah,
questions. Just like a little bit more actually like a little more love each other and not it's almost like they were trying to not be political.
yeah,
You know, like Dolly and all them, you'd ask them the questions and they would just be like, I just believe everyone should love each other. And they're like, so whose side are you on? They're like, whatever, like
yeah,
whichever one is for this, rock and roll and peace and whatever.
yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people are kind of a little bit harsher. And I don't know if it's because they feel pressured to or if that's really genuinely how people are feeling these days. Just a little more,
Well, I think social media has made everybody a lot more opinionated.
yeah.
You know, and now all of a sudden you have a device to put all your opinions on, you
Hmm.
know, and it's just created more of a divide.
Yeah, well, bless them. We'll stay away from that. So we, it's one team around here. You know what I mean? Team
Yeah.
music, team artists, team art, and well, with all that, do you have a song you want to share with us, Zach, before we
Yeah.
hit the
Yeah,
road?
I could do
Got
one.
anything you're cooking over there?
Um, well, let me see here.
All right, you go
You want
grab
me to
a
do you want me to do a new one or the one that I just put out?
Ooh, I will say dealer's choice. I'm always a sucker for new ones. Maybe it's the fellow songwriter in me, but whichever is calling to you at the moment.
Well, the new one is like a cut your wrist sad country song. So it depends on what the vibe is here.
I mean,
Um,
if you don't play that one, send it to me.
okay. Let's play it just for shits and giggles,
Let's go.
um, because my new song, "Country State of Mind," it's out there everywhere. Everybody can hear that song, hear it a lot better version than I can do with just this, So let's do something different.
Let's go.
Yeah. Cause is this guitar coming through all right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Sometimes the phone will distort everything.
Oh yeah. Sounds good.
Well, God, I'm on my knees again tonight. I know we haven't talked in quite a while. And I don't know if you can tell, but lately my world has gone to hell. This bottle has become my only friend, and we go down right till the bitter end. I'd like to say I've got it all under control, but that's a lie that we both know. And we go round and round until my give a damn fades away with the broken plans I made. My world fell apart when I broke her heart, and she left me like the fool I am. But Lord, if you're still there, would you hear this drunkard's prayer? Tell me where it all went wrong. Help me find my way back home. Oh God, I'm on my knees again tonight.
Oof, you gonna put it on us like that? Well, heck yes.
I like the sad songs, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for the sad ones. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thanks to Texas to Tennessee for having us both. Appreciate that.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I've been enjoyed talking to you. It's been fun.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for your time and for hanging out with us and sharing a little bit of your story and some of your music and some of your thoughts about things that are going on. I feel like we're besties now, Zac. So
Yeah,
we'll have to stay in touch. I'm glad we finally got to
yeah,
connect.
absolutely. I didn't mean to get off in any of these rabbit holes or anything. I don't know.
I like the rabbit holes. I watch podcasts for the rabbit holes, you know?
Yeah,
Honestly.
I know.
But I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I have there's kind of a tradition here with Texas to Tennessee. They like to ask one final question of everybody, so I'm gonna hit you with it if you're ready. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, do you have any like last minute shout outs or show things or anything you want to mention before we wrap it up over here?
Yeah. I mean, y'all can just follow me. Zac Chastain. It's ZAC. Trying to be different, you know. And it's also everybody's wondering, you know, but it's my initials. So my name's Zac Allen Chastain.
Ah.
And so my mom, she wanted ZAC. So I don't know. Anyway, I always say that because people can't find me. They'll spell it ZACK or CH or whatever. But yeah, so ZAC. Got a website, ZacChastainMusic.com. Follow me on my socials for all the show dates and everything like that. They'll also be on my website. But yeah, I'll be kind of taking a little time off, but then I think April 25th I'll be in Checkered Flag Tavern, Indianapolis, and then I think I don't know. There's some more. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's some more in April, and then I got a couple coming up in May too. I know I'll be Robot Monkey, Rock Spring, Georgia. Couple live shows or local shows. I mean, but yeah. So just give me a follow. You can keep up with it there.
Where do you keep things most posted? What like is your website or one of the social media is kind of your favorite?
I've been trying. It's weird, you know, like I don't know why, but like Instagram, I've always been like the least amount of followers on Instagram, and it seems like it's the hardest to kind of like break through
Mm-hmm.
in Instagram. And so I've been trying to start on Instagram and then cross over into Facebook. But I usually post them on everything. And then my website, it has like a show calendar that stays up to date on it. So, yeah.
Perfect. Lots of places for you guys to follow Zac and all things
Yeah.
he's got going on. It's super cool to have, like I said, artists hanging out here and just sharing some vibes. I think it goes a long way, and I think it's really important. And I thank you again for your time.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
yeah, of course, I got a final question here for you. If you had
Uh,
had to take just only one Little Debbie snack with you on tour, which one is coming?
mm,
I know it's a tough choice, isn't it?
it is a tough one, you know.
I
Growing
feel
up
like
in the South, man. Growing up in the South, Little Debbie's is like they've probably killed more people than cancer in the South. You know? Man, I've always been partial to the Christmas tree cakes, and then I seen this past winter they come out with the Christmas tree cake donuts. You know, like the little mini donuts.
What?
Yeah.
That's a game
Oh,
changer.
you talking about good. Those are good. Um, but just like regular Little Debbie, I don't know. I've always liked oatmeal cream pies too.
Oh yeah. I feel like you could also just squish those into beyond what like and they're just mint no matter how
Yeah,
squished in the bottom of your backpack they could possibly get.
yeah,
Just tight fist them.
yeah,
And it doesn't ruin it. Well, heck yeah. Well, you guys know what to bring to our friends' shows here. If you see them out there, bring them some
yeah.
oatmeal cream pies and buy
Or
some
those
merch.
Christmas tree cake
Or the
donuts.
Christmas tree donuts specifically.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, guys. Well, we will catch you later. Thank you again to Soul Gravy and to Steve for sharing their Texas to Tennessee platform with us. Follow Zac on all of his platforms. You're here to hear he's got some shows coming up and some new music coming down the pike sometime soon. You'll have to stay tuned to figure it out. But we will
yeah.
see you guys next time. I know Soul Gravy and Steve have got some great shows coming up this week, so catch them there. We are out. Thank you so much.